It's part of the inaugural football program. But before I get into any of that, I am also the founder of DoWork Impact Group. We're community organization that promotes equity through education, encouragement, and empowerment. Before we do anything else, if you don't do anything else for me, take out your cell phones, go to your favorite platform, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, and follow us at DoWork Impact Group. At DoWork Impact Group. No spaces, all lowercase. DoWork Impact Group. We really appreciate it. You can follow us or go to our website at www.doworkimpactgroup.com as well. You can find all the upcoming events like our financial literacy workshops, economic freedom workshops, our community events such as the Can Good Drive, and all of that business. Okay, so and I see them coming in, so I really, really appreciate it. So, now that the business is out of the way, let me ask you ladies some questions. So, Sophia, raise your hand. Where you at? Sophia, what's your definition of team? Team. I know I put you on the spot.
Yeah, a little bit. My definition of team would be, I don't know if I can very good.
It's okay.
It's like a group of people working towards the same goal.
Sounds good, right? Taylor, where you at? What about you? What's your definition of team?
I was going to say the same thing. I was just going to say a group of people that are like-minded and enjoy the same things and want to accomplish the same thing.
Nice. Pretty similar. Jacob. What about you? Definition of team?
My definition of team is, I'm trying to say it differently than the other two girls. I guess a group of people who have like-minded goals and want to work towards the same thing as one another.
Sounds about right. That's about what I got. I appreciate you ladies being leaders. I know it's hard when I put you on the spot. Everybody give them 2 claps. Thank you. That's hard to put you on the spot, especially when you're talking about team in a team setting. My personal definition of team is a collective of individuals who sacrifice their personal desires for the overall success of the group. A collective of individuals who sacrifice their personal desires for the overall success of the group. And I'll be honest, when I first came to Reinhardt in 2012 as just a scrawny freshman football player, I had no clue what team was. I had played team sports my whole life, but I can be honest, and my cousin can vouch for the fact. None of those teams were really good. We didn't lose, we didn't win much, we had very poor leadership, and we struggled. So it wasn't until I got here as a part of that football team when I figured out what team looked like, the hard work and dedication it took to be a part of that very first inaugural football program. As a student leader, I realized what it meant to sacrifice for something bigger than yourself when Adrian here founded Dreams, a pro-diversity organization on campus. It was just a safe space for minority students to come and hang out and be themselves. It was a space where we could promote that diversity on the campus that wasn't as diverse as it is now. We committed to something bigger than ourselves. As businessmen, the people you see in these logos that I'm wearing, we made a commitment to each other, and we sacrificed all of our personal time when we get it, all of our free time when we get it, for DoWork Impact Group to promote that equity through education, encouragement, and empowerment. That's team. And we used to have an old coach by the name of Danny Chronic here who said that when you touch team, all the winning takes care of itself. When you touch team. When you touch team, it's a beautiful thing. But to touch team, you have to understand a couple key concepts, a couple key elements. First, you have to identify your strengths and weaknesses. Now, being the good coach that he is, Coach Goodhine, I'm sure, whether he's told you or not, had the individual conversation with you or not, I'm pretty sure he's identified the strengths and weaknesses of this team. I'm pretty sure he's identified the strengths and weaknesses of each of you as a player. I'm pretty sure he's pulled you in either as a collective or as an individual and kind of told you your role, your niche, where you fit in on this team. I also want you to understand and trust that God had given you a certain set of skills, characteristics, and a certain role on this team as well. Very unique to you, very distinctive to just you. But it's up to you to develop this growth mindset to understand that distinctive set of skills that you have right now and that distinctive, very set role that Coach Goodhine gave you. Those are not boxes. Those are not boxes. In fact, they're just a launching point. If you develop that growth mindset, that where you are right now, you can be 10, 20, 30 times better, you will realize what kind of benefits you can have on this team, what kind of positive impact you can have on this program, this school, or this community. But it's gonna take some hard work. It's gonna have to understand the commitment to the process that it takes and what it looks like to maximize that very unique set of skills and tools and characteristics. And it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to go through some things, you gotta do a whole lot of work. And it's gonna get really, really tough. And I want you ladies to make me a promise on those days when it get really, really tough. Like so tough that you want to quit on the sport that you love, on your friends that you love, on your teammates, on your family members who sacrificed to get you here, that you be your most courageous. Your most courageous. And courage does not always roar. Man, Reinhardt once said that courage is sometimes that quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I'll try again tomorrow. I'll try again tomorrow. Can you identify your strengths and weaknesses and make those sacrifices and understand that growth mindset to be a team, to be a contributing member on a team? Remember, a team is a collective of individuals who sacrifice their personal desires for the overall success of the group. Can you make those sacrifices? Speaking of sacrifices, where my outside hitters at? Outside hitters, raise your hand. Hi, I want to see you. All right. Outside hitters. Who's confident enough to say right now, at the end of the year, you want to lead the team in kills? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Keep your hands raised. Out of those with that much confidence, of you three, who's confident enough to raise your other hand and say you want to lead the conference in kills? Okay. Now, out of those that confident, are you confident enough to say you want to lead the whole country in kills? Are you? Be honest. It's okay. Or if you haven't thought about it, now that you have right now, is that something you're willing to strive for? Outside hitters. You got a nod. Perfect. Thank you. Coach Goodheim, stay with me. This is a judge-free zone, ladies and gentlemen. Family members having a conversation. All right? I'm not trying to be toxic. I'm not trying to start no trouble. Just want to know. Stay with me, Coach. I'm working. All right? Are you willing to sacrifice for her to achieve her goals? If I told you that in order for her to achieve her goals, that you're going to have to play less, but stay late after practice to make sure she's ready to play, are you willing to do that? Be honest. If you know,
Can you rephrase it?
are you willing to sacrifice your playing time and extra free time in order to make her the player she needs to be to achieve those goals of leading the country in kills?
If it's for the best, if it's the best thing for the team.
Okay, that leads me to my next point. I'm glad you had that mindset, because when you're willing to sacrifice like that, if you're willing to sacrifice your playing time and your personal accolades, your personal goals for her to achieve what she hopes to achieve, because you understand that she achieves the goal of becoming the team leader in kills, the conference leader in kills, the country's leader in kills. That means you probably have a dang good volleyball team and you're gonna win those championships. And that willingness to sacrifice is the essence of every team. It's essential in every team. Without any sacrifice, there is no team. But what are you willing to sacrifice? And what are you willing to sacrifice consistently? Because everybody can sacrifice whatever you want when it's convenient. When it's easy, when you're on this 3-game winning streak. What can you sacrifice when it gets tough? When you hit that tough stretch of conference play. And it's every Tuesday and Saturday, Tuesday and Saturday, Tuesday and Saturday. God, lead coach, can we get a day off? Can you still sacrifice and give your best effort every morning, every evening, in the classroom, at practice, in the halls, on the campus, making sure each other stays out of trouble? What are you willing to sacrifice extra to achieve your goals? What are you willing to sacrifice extra to achieve your team goals? What are you willing to sacrifice extra to get over that little hump and reach your peak as a player, as a person, and ultimately as a team? What are you willing to sacrifice? If you are able to make those sacrifices consistently, if you're able to identify those strengths and weaknesses, you'll be a little closer to team. And that concept of sacrifice, that concept of humility, that concept of team is rooted in Ubuntu. Ubuntu, say it with me. Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Anybody ever heard of it? Anybody? It's quite clear. It's okay. Ubuntu is not a word. Ubuntu is somewhat of an African philosophy. Ubuntu is, how can I describe it? You learn how to be human from other humans. A person is a person through other people. Still not making sense? Okay. I cannot be as good as I can be unless you're the I can never be threatened by how good you are, because the better you are, the greater I am. Ubuntu. It's an African philosophy. This African philosophy is what saved South Africa in the 50-year stretch of apartheid. If you don't know what apartheid is, it was the 50 years where South Africa was experiencing this brutal, systematic racism and injustices. And if it was people like Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela who was preaching this philosophy of Ubuntu, that no matter where you're from or what you have or what your skin color might look like or what your social status is, that I'm not threatened by you. I don't fear you. The better you are, the better I am. I'm learning how to be human through you. We have to have these interactions so I know how I need to do what I need to do, so I can accomplish what I hope to accomplish. Ubuntu. If it wasn't for Ubuntu, South Africa might be still in shambles. Ubuntu. A person's a person through other people. I cannot be threatened by how good you are, because the greater you are, the better I am. I cannot be all I can be unless you are the best you can be. Ubuntu. On a lighter note, in 2008, when the Boston Celtics were trying to handle all the immense pressures of acquiring certain levels of talent, 3 future Hall of Famers in the same offseason, and they were dealing with all the off-the-court drama of people having families, deaths in their family, or people having family members get arrested, or injuries, or last-minute trades, or big moves in their conference. They adopted this philosophy of Ubuntu to make it through their season. When asked in the middle of their 20-game winning streak, when they asked their Hall of Fame power forward Kevin Garnett, how did you have the double-double? What did you do so special tonight? What made you so great? His response was, we, not me. We, not me. I was good tonight because my teammates were great tonight. We, not me. So just do this with me, ladies. When I say we, not me, I want you to say Ubuntu nice and loud, okay? When I say we, not me, I want you to say Ubuntu nice and loud. We, not me. Ubuntu. Come on, ladies, give me some energy. I know it's late. We, not me. Ubuntu. We, not me. Ubuntu. We, not me. Ubuntu. 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 I'm not threatened by how good you are. The better you are, the greater I am. I cannot be all I can be unless you be all that you can be. I learn how to be a person with other people. Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Ladies, if you identify your strengths and weaknesses, if you make the commitment to sacrifice consistently, even when it's tough, and you develop this philosophy of Ubuntu, learning how to be a person through other people, never being threatened by how good your teammate is, because the better they are, the greater you are. That you cannot reach your full potential unless they reach their full potential. You will achieve all of your team goals. You will achieve all the wildest team goals that Coach Goodhine has set for you and that you work for and talk about all the time. But here's the better part. You'll be the person and player that you achieve to be, that you aspire to be. You'll leave here with the degrees and the championship rings that you deserve. You'll develop into the strong and beautiful queen that you knew you are. Can I get an amen? Amen. Amen. Okay? And you deserve it, ladies, and I'm rooting for you. We're rooting for you. And I want to wish you good luck tonight, good luck on Tuesday when you go for your 4th in a row, and good luck for the rest of your life. All right? I appreciate your time, ladies. I'm your favorite worker, D. Wynn. I want to remind you that if you don't work, you don't eat. Do work, and Godspeed. Thank you.